Hey guys, guess what? You'll never guess what I picked up over the weekend. This beauty. It's a scooter. 250 cc's. It's in pretty rough shape. Doesn't run. It's I don't know if you can read that. The Jonway yy250t. That's the only identification it has on it. I did a little research. Apparently these are basically a Yamaha clone from China. It has, let's see, apparently these are true miles. So if you can read that, I think it says 1,000, or no. Let's say 1,000, but was that a zero? Oh, 12,869 miles. So it's got quite a few miles for a scooter. Apparently it was running. The guy got sick and stopped riding it for a while, and then when he was feeling better, like a year or so later, he got it running and he went from the garage to the house. It died and it hasn't run since. The only thing I've done so far is give it a bath. It was really dusty and dirty, and I bought a battery. And the battery is fully charged, but I was planning on tinkering with it a little bit here and just keep it on the charger while I'm doing that. I want the battery to not go low. So the battery's in, the key's in. It does light up. All the gauges light up. There's one light that is on in the front. The directional on the left works. Directional to the right. Front doesn't work. The back is working though. So I don't really have much. I don't have anything for it besides the battery I got. So I feel like we'll just start with the basics. The front directional is not working. I feel like it's the back one is on that side is blinking fast compared to this one the other side's on. Yeah, that's a slower blink. So I mean, that kind of tells me that I know when the car does that, it means a bulb is blown on that side and the directional will just blink fast. What if that light blinks fast? That's obviously a directional light. Yep. Oh, it's got one on each side. And it blinks slower. So it's telling you a bulb is blown. So I don't really have much else I can do. So let's start with the direction. Let's get that working. We can probably do that. If it's a blown bulb, I can get a bulb. Walmart's a minute up the road. So let's start there. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to check the bulb. The bulb from here, it's not blackened. There's a hole in the lens. Maybe that had something to do with it. All right, I'll check back in a second. So here's where we're at. I got the bulb out. I don't know if I'll focus on that. The bulb does not look blown. I put my amp meter up to it on ohms just to see if there was continuity through it. And I mean, it reads good, but I guess that isn't a golden way to test it. I mean, there could be something else going on. So I took some leads off the battery and the camera. Leads off the battery and hooked it up, and the bulb definitely lights up. The bulb works, it's not the bulb. So I was thinking that's good, I guess. I mean, the bulb's that bad, it's not going to cost me money probably. And I got to inspecting the connector. The connector looked good, didn't look all burnt and corroded, this end or that end. But then I looked a little closer and one of the leads pulled off the connector. So I feel like they're crimped down or something. I can easily push that little clip down, pull that pin out, and I will probably end up soldering that on. I might even pop the other one off while I'm while I'm at the soldering iron and just solder the leads onto that connector and then push it back into this, you know, push the solder them onto those little tips and then push them back into this connector. And that should solve that problem. So hopefully one problem down. I'll get back to you after I solder it up and we'll test it. Before I show you that, I guess I'll show you what it took to get that light bulb out. Now, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I just started taking things apart, which kind of worked out in the long run. But if you're just going to change the bulb, it's got this piece here, and then a black piece that goes over the back. So to take the bulb out, you literally only need to take the black piece off. You take the black piece off, and then there's a Phillips screw there, and then this whole clear lens comes off, and then you can just pop the bulb out if you had to buy a bulb. What I did was, it's got these 3 tabs, screws, and this whole assembly comes off. You know, I took the black part off first, didn't notice the screw there. I figured, oh, we still got to keep going. Took that all off, but I needed to get there anyways. And then I took this is broken. It came to me broken. It's a little nose piece. It's got 2 screws here, and then a screw up on each end. Except this end is broken, so I only have to do the 3 screws. That pops off nicely. Gives you a little bit more access to this, the wiring, which I was able to, you know, undo the harness for that bulb. There's the one end, and there's the other end. Goes to it. And there's some more wires. It doesn't look too bad. Nothing looks like burnt and crazy. All looks really good. I feel like that wire just pulled off. On further inspection, I know these other lights didn't work, and I feel like, man, that bulb looks good. This bulb looks good. I mean, it's not 100%. These lights might come on. The main lights might come on when it's running. These might be run off AC. This light came on. This bulb might be also be blown or a wiring issue. But, you know, these might run off the DC, and then when the whole thing fires up and it's running off the stator, these two lights might actually be powered at that point, because there's so much more power to have them just come on with the battery, but kill the battery pretty quick if you just had the key on. So not too bad. I mean, you got to reach in there. I used a little stubby Phillips. These little stubby Phillips I got from a friend. He gave it to me for free. Super nice. It's a Craftsman. Evolve. I think that's how you pronounce it. Evolve. Yeah, super nice. Just gave it to me. Nothing better than getting free tools. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Mark. So here we are. I've literally done stuff like this probably hundreds of times, so this shouldn't be a big deal. The only thing I say is, you know, don't rush, don't force anything. This is little tiny, you know, bits of metal. It helps to have, like, this is actually from a blow dart, but the metal is like super strong, like it's not flimsy metal, and it's got a nice fine point on it, and that'll help you get in there and pick that little tab out, and get yourself a nice solder iron. This one's digital. You can increase or decrease the temperature, and some fine solder, rosin core. So I'm going to try to pick this little connector out. So I'm going to bend in the tab. See it. Just have plenty of light, which I don't really have at this point, but it's also very nice if you had the lead like on it to pull out as you push down. So we'll just push down, push it out. Just help having two of these little pokers, one to kind of pull the thing out with and one to push it down at the same time. And if it doesn't break, you can push it down and then pull it back out to have it spring back up as you push it in. It'll clip. This one's being very difficult. Like, why? There we go. I think we got it. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, it was just being difficult. So there it is. I don't know if you can see that little tab I was trying to push down there. That little tab right there. Just got to push that down and then the pin will slide out. And then you just want to probably pull it back up a little bit. So when you push it back in, it has enough spring to lock in. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, looks like it literally just pulled out. It doesn't look like the wire broke or nothing. So I'm gonna just you can see the wire. Where's this wire? Put the wire back in there. You could probably crimp it, but I'm got my solder iron all heated up. I'm just gonna a little flux on there and tack her in. Probably do it right on the little tray here, since I don't want to melt my laptop. So it's best to tin up the wire first. So flux up the wire. Flux up the wire. Put your solder. This solder iron's nice. This solder iron literally only takes maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds to heat up. I've dealt with solder irons where you have to wait 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. So you're not going to be able to really see this part, but what I'm doing is I'm just heating up the wire and the flux I put on it. And then once I think it's pretty well got heat to it, I'm just going to draw some solder into it. And the solder will just wick right into those copper threads. If you can see that. Tinned up. We'll do a little bit more on the back side here. Now she's fully tinned. Looking good. And I'll do the same thing to the connector itself. I'll put a little flux in there just to get it started. I'll basically try to tin up this connector too, just a little bit. Lead in there. And as everything's heating up together, draw some solder in. The solder should just bind that whole thing perfectly. She's bubbling up nice. Yeah, it's a nice thing about this soldering too. It's just like really power on, power off. You don't have to unplug it. I mean, obviously you should unplug it, but once you think you're good, just hit that power button and keep it in its little holder thing there, and it's just cooling off. And for something like this, where you got to tin up a connector, you know, give her some more heat. Don't be bashful. This thing goes up quite a ways. We'll bring it right up to 300 just to make sure we got this nice and connected to that connector. I know the solder's on the wire. Yeah, she's good. I should do the other side, but put her back in there. I feel like that metal tab has been up enough. Hot. Yeah, she's snapped in there beautifully. All right, that's that. Connector should be good now. We're gonna put it back on the bike and test her out. Be right back. All right, we're back at the bike. Still working good. Got the bulb in. Let's see. Do a little proof of concept. I haven't like buttoned her all up or nothing, but I'll throw that directional on. That's looking good. It's a little slower. Oh yeah, there she goes. Yeah. Yeah, we got full directional now. Yeah. Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, one problem solved. So this is probably going to be a journey of problems. Like, I mean, that one bulb doesn't work on the one side. I feel like those two main bulbs come on when it's running. So if you want to come along for the journey, this would be a good one. Jonway, yy250t scooter. Not running. I haven't yet to even hit the starter button. I kind of wait until I can get more involved into it. I want to take the plug out, spray a little, at least WD-40 or something down there before it starts, you know, any revolutions. It said it's been sitting for approximately 4 years, so as long as it was inside. It was inside when I looked at it. So, I mean, I had to take off this handlebar shroud when I trailered it home because there was nothing really to put the straps on. I didn't want to put them on the ends of the bar. I feel like maybe this side would have been fine, but where the throttle is, I feel like torquing that might have broke the little plastic throttle insert under there. The throttle does move though. Just moved it a little tiny bit. So and when I took that off, the plastic was so brittle, just turning the one screw snapped part of it. So, and then there was already one on the other part of it snapped already. So, I mean, it is what it is. I can put it back on. Let's see if I can show you. Where is that piece? That piece could have... Couldn't have gone too far. It's literally like the only thing I've taken off besides that. Directional. Anyways. Let me button this back up. Oh, here we go. All buttoned back up. Not too bad. Plastic is real fragile. My suggestion, if you're working on something Chinese, go super slow and definitely make sure you're going the right direction. Don't like accidentally start tightening something thinking you're loosening it. Because this stuff's so brittle, you'll just break everything. So far, so good for me. But let's just see her inside the thing. It should be up. All right. She's still working. I didn't think it was not going to work, but just showing you the whole thing. There's that side going. There's no like four-way on a motorcycle. I don't think so. I don't know how to just get them all flashing, both flashing. But there it goes. that's the first step. Success. Hopefully everything else is just as easy as this. This wasn't that bad. It was a little bit of troubleshooting. Not the bulb, but the wiring harness. So I feel like that's what you deal with when you deal with Chinese stuff. Like if this is a Yamaha, it wouldn't have been the wiring. It would have been the bulb that was blown. That's where they do the right thing, is the little details of the wiring, the terminals. So step one, complete, success. Stay tuned. We'll get it running. It's a 250. Apparently this thing goes close to 80 miles an hour, like 75. So it should be fun. Thanks for watching.